So today we're talking about power, and specifically when it comes to power, we're talking about portable power. This is the Ruko R299 portable power station. You can call it a battery generator, you can call it a backup battery, whatever you would like to call it. This is something that you can take with you anywhere you go. Gets AC, DC power. It does have a Qi charging station on the top of your smartphone, which I really like. Has a light built into it, and actually it's a usable light, and we'll get into that here in a second. But AC, DC power, pretty much anything you need if you're on the road and need a quick power solution wherever you go. Also great for camping because obviously when you're camping, you're not by a power source, specifically if you're tent camping, things like that. So more primitive type camping, but you can take it anywhere. Even if in my backyard, this is easier to use than a extension cable, well then I'm probably gonna use this guy. So without further ado, let's bring it in. Let's talk about this guy, the Ruko R299 power station. Okay, so before we actually use any of these ports and everything, we're going to show you exactly how it comes here. So you can see on the front we have 3 buttons. We have an on-off button, a light on and off button, and then an AC on and off button. Obviously the on and off button turns the power unit on. Right now we're at what, 98% charge, so I did charge it up recently. I have 3 USB-A ports down here and a USB-C port for our standard 5-volt charging or output right there. We do have 2 12-volt barrel plug style, as well as a cigarette lighter plug style here. And then over here for our inputs, we have a photovoltaic input, 12 to 26 volts, and a DC input as well. So that DC input, it does come with a AC to DC power cord that we can basically plug in right there and then charge off a wall outlet. So that does come with the unit. Photovoltaic input, this is one of multiple cord options out there to plug things in. There are plenty of adapters to adapt this to, if you don't want to use Ruko's specific, they actually sell photovoltaic panels for you to plug into this. But if you want to use your own setup, whether you have an existing one or whatever, there are cords to, if you don't have this specific plug, that you can convert it. So that's easy to find on Amazon actually. And maybe I'll put one in the link, a link to down below if you want to check out those. But otherwise, on and off button turns on the unit, and then you can DC charge. Light turns on the light. We'll get to that here in a second. And then AC turns on, and if you see here, we actually have AC out. It's on, but there's no wattage being used. There is an AC port right here on the side of the unit, so we can actually charge power, whatever. The nice thing about this, and what I've used these battery backup systems or these power stations before, is I actually have a portable pellet grill. I powered off a small little unit like this, and then once it ignites and starts going, the only power draw on this guy is just a fan. But it does require AC power, and if I'm camping with it, well then it's kind of defeats the purpose because I usually don't camp where there is power. So these things are fantastic for that. But like I said, you can use this even in your own home if there's a power outage. These are super handy. Secondly, I have used these in my backyard where I don't want to have to pull a 200-foot power cord to do something in the far part of my backyard. These things are priceless in that regard. So I did want to show the light before we get into the power and showcasing what this display will show. So let's show what the light can do. So what we're going to do is back the camera back up. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to push that center button right there and click. Here's what it looks like with the light on. Here's what it looks like with the light off. Now I didn't even adjust my aperture settings or anything on my camera, so you are seeing probably as close to accurate in terms of light that thing's putting out. The nice thing about this is plenty of light. In all reality, especially after your eyes adjust a little bit more, it gets, it seems brighter. But this is more than enough light if you wanted to have a conversation with somebody, play a board game or play some cards or whichever, more than an ample amount of light with it. So the nice thing is it's not just this small little light that just gives you a little bit of something. This will fill your tent with light. This will fill the table with light on a picnic table or something like that. It's wonderful, and it's not too overly powering in that I can look at it and not be blinded by it. So it's actually a very comfortable light. Also with this light, I'm going to turn it off, but I'm going to turn it back on. It has another feature. and that is going to put you into a seizure. That's SOS mode. So we can actually do an SOS with this without having to worry about it. And I'm not going to do that for very long because it'll probably put somebody into seizures. So that is one really useful feature of this power station. The light is not just great, it's really usable. Okay, so now I have a few gadgets around me that we're going to plug into this guy. So I now have I have the power on. I'm going to turn the AC on as well. So everything is on other than the light. And so in this case, I have a 12 volt guy over here. You can actually see there is a red light indicating that we have power on. And it's actually a portable DVD player. I don't have a whole lot of 12 volt items, to be honest. I did have more barrel plug, but that actually got sold with my camper. So I have that on over here. I have another small fan that's actually USB powered. So we're going to plug that in here. And off to the races she goes. That'll keep me cool. There we go. Plug that in toward me. Then I actually have a portable router. This is actually a 5G router. So it'll actually, if you're camping or whichever, this will actually connect to cellular and then share it over to your devices. I'm going to plug that guy with its brick in right there. And AC is on, and she's booting up. But there you can see I have USB 5 volt device plugged in, turned on. Here's the fan, you can see it running. DVD player going on the straight 12 volt, and then I have a small AC router, or a 5G router, I guess, plugged into the AC port here. And the nice thing is, once we give it a few minutes, it looks like that router's pulling about 5 watts. The DC out, this screen over here is pulling about 5 watts. The USB, this thing's pulling a whole bunch of nothing, less than a watt currently, which probably sounds about right. It's not pulling a whole lot, but the more things you plug in, the more it can take. But the nice thing is, okay, let's say I have all those things filled up. Well, I can also, and it's going to be better if I take it out of my magnetic case, on top, I actually have a Qi charger. So right now, my phone is also charging, which also will increase how many watts are going to be bellowing out here. It'll eventually start ramping up. But that is the nice thing about it, is I have multiple devices connected, multiple things charging at the same time. I did want to show this from the front top view. So if I set my phone here, you can see it kicking on and the charge is going. So we are green up here. So it's charging. But that's the nice thing. This whole top is a Qi charger. So no matter what device you have, she'll be able to go. Now my case, I haven't actually had too many problems with it, but sometimes in vehicles, because there's extra magnets in this case and it's a little heavier, but it is MagSafe. It does seem to work on here, but I never trust it overnight usually with just standard Qi charging unless it's MagSafe. So right now, oh no, this one looks like it is holding good. And I've only used this case of the charging on it maybe twice. Otherwise, I typically take the case off. But there we go. So a DC out 5 watts. That's that DVD player. 6 watts looks like for the AC for the router, and then 10 watts is what we're using for USB. That's the less than 1 watt for the fan, and the over 9 watts probably, or give or take, for the phone. Now the thing about this screen is you can see that AC just went up a little bit. This screen is not an instant readout. Like, you plug it in, it's not going to be really, really accurate the second you plug it in. You got to give it, about a minute or so before it mellows out and it really reads the true current being pulled. But it is really handy to have that. I'm going to unplug the fan at least, because just the noise. But the thing about this specific power station is you have all those options all built in. It lasts quite a bit. So this is like 288.6 watt hours of energy. So depending on what you're pulling with it, it can pull, you can pull quite a bit of energy out of this, especially when you're camping, at least at night, depending on what you're camping with, depending on what you're pulling, but multiple nights, I would say, with this little guy. But it's really handy because it's also just the form factor. Really nice handle on top. It's not too heavy. It's really well situated for throwing in the trunk of your car, taking it with you. Just having it around the house for power outages, really handy. Goes for $300 on Amazon. They typically have some coupon codes. Like right now, I think it's $30 off, so $269 is what you can currently get this for. I will put links in the description where you can check it out on Amazon and at your leisure. All in all, this does have 2 different inputs. We talked about all the outputs. We did talk briefly about the inputs. We have a DC input. We have a photovoltaic input. This cannot accept both at the same time. You're either going to charge this via the DC input, probably via the power brick that it came with, or you're going to charge this with photovoltaic. Second thing to consider with this one is if you are charging with photovoltaic or a DC, or I should say if you're charging this at all, the AC port is not usable. So while you're charging this, you can't actually use the AC. You can use the DC ports, but this guy can only be used when it's not being charged. So, and I think the thought behind that is, well, if you're going to use the AC port, you're probably going to be drawing more power. That plus at the same time, if you're probably by a power outlet where you're charging it anyway, you don't need to be pulling anything out of this. So that, I did want to say, point that out. I'm going to kick that off. We'll kick everything off. There we go. So that is the Ruko R299 power station. Like I said, $299 what it goes for, minus whatever coupons or discounts they're running at the current time, whatever promotion. So check it out online, see what the promotion is while you're watching this video. Link in the top of the description. Thank you, Ruko, for sending this over to me, because I'm really, I mean, when they asked me if I'd be interested in a review, and power stations are one of those things that I love. I think power stations are fantastic, but every single one is different. And every single one I've ever done is completely different from the one prior, including this one. This one is handier to kind of take around with you and gives you a good options, USB-A, USB-C, both DC type ports. I do like that. I have had multiple power stations where they give you the barrel style plug, but not the cigarette plug, or the other way around. And I have needs for both a lot of times. Right now, I don't have a whole lot of need for the barrel plug because all those devices that I had went with my camper. So eventually I'm probably going to go back to that because that's a really handy plug for 12 volt connections. So thank you for watching to the end of this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this guy. And of course, we'll catch you back here on techgooch for another future video review. See you again soon.